A girl that nobody protected. The city did not notice the girl who was sleeping beneath the streetlight. The city was busy with
We
its
have to
things
keep
and
moving.
nobody really saw
I
the
know.
girl.
Let's go.
The girl was sleeping alone beneath the broken streetlight. People walked by Alara
You
Vale
cannot
every
escape.
night. They were all
Stay
in a hurry
away!
with their high heels clicking on the sidewalk and their cars making a lot of noise. They were
You
having a
shouldn't
good
be
time
out
in the
here.
warm restaurants.
I had no choice.
Nobody ever looked down to see Alara Vale. The city did not care that her name was Alara Vale. To the city, Alara Vale was another girl who did not have a home. She wore a coat that was torn and she carried a backpack with her. This backpack had everything that belonged to Alara Vale. There was a picture in the backpack, a scarf that was worn out and the heart of Alara Vale that still had feelings. Alara found out a time ago that being kind was not a good idea when you did not have a lot of money. People would make fun of you when you were kind. They would be mean to you. Alara was still kind to stray cats and she gave them half of her bread. She also said sorry to people who pushed her around. Alara said sorry to these people even when they were not nice to her. She was kind to stray cats and people because that is what Alara did. That night the rain got her shoes all wet as she stood outside the blood donation clinic. She was looking at the red sign that was shining brightly. The woman was not there to get paid or anything. She went to the clinic because sometimes they threw away food that was still good even if it was past the date on the package and she could find it in the clinic dumpsters. Inside the building something old started to wake up. The building had something inside it. This ancient thing was starting to stir. High above the city, King Alaric Nocturne stood in a tower that was not subject to rules. He looked out over New York, saw the city in a bad state. King Alaric Nocturne was a vampire who was feared by everyone in the groups that existed. He was older than countries and was in charge of the vampire groups in the north. King Alaric Nocturne was a person. He did not let anyone get close to him. The suffering of humans did not affect King Alaric Nocturne. Until that night. He looked at Alara through a window. Alara was standing in front of a kid who was shaking. Some men were. Alara was trying to protect the kid from them. She did not think twice about putting herself in harm's way. Alara did this even though she did not have anything and the world did not think she was important. Alara was all the kid had, so Alara stood up to the men. Something inside of Alaric just broke. For the time in a very long time the vampire king got up from his throne. This was a deal because of the blood contract. The vampire king and the blood contract were very important to a lot of people. The vampire king had not left his throne in centuries, so this was a surprise because of the blood contract. Alara never saw the man who hit her from behind. The man came out of nowhere. Hit Alara from behind. She did not see the man all. She woke up in the dark, her wrists felt cold because of the things that held her down. The smell of iron was really strong in the air. She was not in a place like a dungeon, but she was in a big fancy house that was supposed to be a nice place. The candles were burning low. The fancy stone floors were shiny. They reflected her bare feet. A woman's voice told her what was going to happen to her. They picked you. You are the one they want. The selection is. You have been chosen. I do not like the word chosen. The word chosen tastes like a lie to me. Alara found out the truth fast. Her blood had a very old and special kind of power in it. This power was not seen often and it was very strong. She was going to be a blood servant, which meant she would have to sign a contract that would keep her safe. It also meant she would belong to someone else. The contract was floating in the air in front of her and it was glowing. It was written in a language that Alara did not know. For some reason she could still understand what it said. The room was different all of a sudden. The room had changed. The air actually bent. The candles really bowed. King Alaric walked into the room. The man did not touch the woman. The man did not threaten the woman. The man just looked at the woman with eyes that seemed older than. The man waited for the woman to feel fear. Alara lifted her chin up. She did this because she wanted to show that she was not afraid of anything. Alara was being very brave. She lifted her chin. She said this in a voice. If they are going to take her blood, they should just do it. She will not beg them to do it. She will not beg the people who are going to take her blood. Then there was silence. That defiance, it was quiet and wounded and not fancy. It affected him more than any rebellion ever did. The defiance was a strong feeling that got to him. Alaric signed the contract by his hand. He did this task himself. Alaric put his name on the contract. Not as her master. She is my responsibility as her guardian. The kiss that broke the law is an important thing to think about. The kiss that broke the law changed everything for her. I have to consider the kiss that broke the law when I make decisions for her. The kiss that broke the law is something that I will always remember. The first feeding was supposed to be controlled. Alara stood there shaking. Her neck was completely. Her heart was beating really fast. This was not because she was excited, it was because she was scared for her life. Alaric was walking towards her slowly and everything inside of him was telling him to be careful. He had taken blood from thousands of people before. So taking blood from Alara should not have been a deal. When his lips touched her skin, everything fell apart. The world around them just stopped making sense. His lips on her skin was all that mattered now. The feeling of his lips on her skin was really powerful. Magic just exploded through the chamber. It was everywhere. Ancient runes were burning across the walls. It was like they were on fire or something. Then the contract. It was really cool for a second. Then it just turned to ash. The magic was still there, though I could feel it. The ancient runes were still burning too, but the contract was just gone. It was ash. Alaric pulled back fast, his fangs going back in because he was so surprised. Alara. Then he caught her. He was there to catch Alara when she fell. That kiss was not hunger. It was recognition. The elders got there a while later and they were really mad and scared. Something big had happened. A blood-slave bond was not meant to be. This was made clear by fate itself. But that was not all. Something else was happening now. There was a prophecy that was starting to come true. The old laws that nobody talked about anymore were saying something that people were not supposed to know for a long time. The blood-slave bond and the prophecy were connected in a way that was not good. The elders were worried about what the ancient laws were saying about the blood-slave bond and the prophecy. Alara Vale was never supposed to be on her knees. She was the kind of person who was meant to stand tall and strong, not kneel down like that. Alara Vale was always someone who did things her way, and kneeling just did not seem like something she would do. Alara Vale was a person who liked to be in control, and kneeling made her feel weak. She was supposed to stand beside the throne. This is a journey from a place of shelter to actually wearing the crown. It is a path that takes you from a life to one of great power and responsibility, from shelter to crown. The court was really mean to people. The court did not care about them. The court turned cruel. People made fun of Alara's hands. They did not like that she was quiet. They did not like that she was human. They said she was a mistake. They said she was weak. They said she was a mark on the royal family. Alara's humanity was something they did not like. The royal blood was supposed to be perfect. Alara was not. Alaric did not say a word. One by one, those people who hurt her, they lost the favor they had. They lost the power they once held. They lost everything that mattered to them, everything they had. He taught her to read books from a long time ago. She taught him what it is like to be very hungry and not eat. He kept her safe from harm. She made him feel inside, which is something he thought he would never feel again. He taught her about Tex. She taught him about the pain of hunger when you do not eat for a time. He gave her a place to live. She gave him love and warmth, which he thought was gone from his life forever, something he thought was extinct. Alara changed slowly. This was not because someone came to rescue her. It was because people actually started to respect Alara. They treated Alara with kindness, and Alara felt like she was important. This is what helped Alara to change the fact that people respected Alara. Something big happened when someone tried to kill her. This event showed that she had a power that she kept hidden. Her power is that she can calm down the desire for blood. When this happened, it became very clear that this was the truth about her power to calm bloodlust. The truth about her power to calm bloodlust was something that could not be denied anymore. The woman was not picked for the job because the woman was not strong enough. The woman just did not have what it took. The woman was weak. That is why they did not choose the woman. The queen who remembered the streets was a kind person, and that is why she was chosen. The queen who remembered the streets had a heart that was full of kindness. The queen who remembered the streets was the choice because of her kind nature. The coronation really shocked the world. It was a surprise for the supernatural world. The supernatural world was totally caught off guard by the coronation. A girl who is homeless was chosen to be the queen of the night court. This is a big deal for the night court. The night court is a special place, and the queen of the night court is a very important person. This homeless girl is now the queen of the night court. Alara did not forget the streets where she saw much suffering. Alara worked hard to stop blood slavery. She made sure that people were safe and free. Alara opened sanctuaries to help those in need. She wanted to make sure that people were treated fairly. Alara forced people to be kind where before they were cruel and hid behind old ways of doing things. Alara really made a difference in the streets and in people's lives by fighting against blood slavery and bringing justice to those who needed it. Alaric stood beside her, not like he was better than her, but like a king who knew when to show respect by getting down on his knees. Their love was never in a hurry. It was not something they talked about loud. The love between them was in the way they looked at each other, in the way they kept each safe, in the quiet moments they spent together. When people asked how a single kiss had changed history, the answer was really simple. Kindness met power. That is a really great thing. Kindness and power coming together is something that we do not see every day. When kindness and power meet, it can make a difference. This is what happens when kindness and power work together. The people in power finally listened to what we had to say. Power is a thing, and it is not often that power listens to ordinary people like us. This time power finally listened. Moral ending.